This is not for you.
No.
We're starting off this vlog with a sip of my energy drink because
I need it.
cheers. Welcome to another vlog, another day, another vlog. You guys are a little bit far, let's come a little closer. So it has been a minute since I've been in this apartment, okay? I genuinely missed my tiny shoebox apartment. If you don't know, it's probably because you don't follow me on Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram,
what are you doing? Okay, what are you doing?
Your girl has been gone for the past 10 days. I probably would have stayed longer, but I have a cat. I have my little child to take care of, so I had to come back. But yeah, anyway, I have been gone for a really long time. And you guys know that feeling when you come back from vacation and you just feel kind of like not in it? Your brain is not like working. It's kind of still in vacation mode. And you know, you're just not in your normal life routine. Now I'm back to real life. I have to actually get my life together. So we are starting off this vlog with a deep apartment clean. If you guys are watching this, here's your sign to deep clean with me. Drink some caffeine for that extra boost. I'm drinking my Oxy Shred in pina colada. This flavor is so bomb. Blast your favorite music and come join me and get our lives together. First step to a productive deep clean is a fire music playlist. I'm gonna have it linked for you guys in the description box.
To ride GQ top 5 and I never came with a stylist. Better hold you.
Yo sé papi que tú eres muy chulo, chulo. Tú eres muy chulo.
You guys, I don't know if you guys can see my plant right now because it's getting a little bit dark now, but
She's kind of dying.
she has a few like dead leaves. She definitely was going through it while I was gone. No, I'm so sad. She's actually my first plant ever that I kept alive this long. So like, I'm kind of sad that she's not doing too well right now. I'm gonna give her some water now. You guys already know this is my favorite pre-workout. Mango Oxy Shred. It literally tastes so good and gives you energy for your workout. Cheers. I really don't feel like working out right now, you guys. I literally have not worked out in the past like 3 weeks. And you know that feeling when you take a big break from working out and then you're trying to get back in it? It just feels like pulling teeth. Like for some reason, your motivation is just not there, especially when you've been out of your routine for a while. Like that's the case for me right now. It almost feels harder to get back in it than usual. So if you're in the same boat right now, I feel you. Let me tell you some words of wisdom, okay? Working out and getting back into your routine is hard. But you know what's also hard? That guilty feeling you feel, being lazy and letting yourself let the days go by and doing nothing. You have to remember that that feeling is arguably worse than the feeling of getting yourself up and getting your butt in the gym. So here's your sign to make your pre-workout cocktail and push yourself. Woo, let's get it.
When I get you back, oh yeah. When I get you back, oh yeah. When I get you back, oh yeah. I promise you'll never leave me. When it comes to you and me, there's no one else I'd rather be.
So right Right now we are on our way to like a street party type thing. I don't know, but my brother's DJing there, so we're gonna go support. First of all, sometimes I genuinely forget that this desk is a standing desk because I always prefer to sit. So I never really use the standing part, but this is kind of nice. But yeah, right now I'm about to organize my life a little bit. Very much needed right now. I do this pretty much like every month where I use my handy dandy iPad and I basically just like schedule my whole life out. I have a monthly schedule, a weekly schedule, a daily schedule, all that jazz. But since I've been traveling, that kind of just went out the window. But we are back, so I gotta get my life together. If you guys actually want more in-depth detail, how I like organize my life a little bit, just comment down below. I read all my comments. So right now I'm gonna make a little to-do list of things I have to do and schedule out my month a little bit. If you don't already like kind of schedule your life out, I highly recommend it, especially if you're kind of all over the place like me. And I also have a horrible memory. So if I have things to do and I don't write it down or schedule it out, it is not getting done. Hello you guys, so we're back from the grocery store. Your girl got a bunch of groceries because I literally had none. I'm gonna put some of these away and then after that I'm gonna cook a quick little lunch. Lunch is served. I'm not gonna lie, I usually sit on this chair, but Pika is currently using it right now and I don't have the heart to move her. So that's when you know my cat owns me. I don't own her. This is what we got for the lunch. I feel like it doesn't look the most appetizing, but I promise you, it tastes so bomb. Ground beef with some marinara sauce. Got some rice and cottage cheese. Yes, cottage cheese. Don't knock it until you try it first, okay? And then of course an avocado because we love avocado. I probably make this once a week because it is so good. And it's like perfect for meal prepping, so I always have leftovers in my fridge. Let's dig in. We gotta get a money bite over here. Cheers. So right now I'm headed to a, hello, Miss Girl. I'm headed to a brunch. I was invited actually as a +1 with my girl Mai. If you don't know Mai, what are you doing? What are you doing? She's a huge YouTuber here, so I'm sure you guys know her. Yeah, it's gonna be a brunch situation and you guys already know whenever there's food involved, I'm in there. So the food place looks really good. I already checked the menu and everything. I already know what I'm gonna order. I take my free food very seriously. All right, you guys, let's go. We're about to get ready for 2 birthday parties actually. I didn't even realize how many people have September birthdays. My boyfriend's also born in September, so it's a lot of parties this month. But yeah, we gotta do this kind of quickly because I don't have that much time. I like low-key always do this to myself for some reason. When I'm already short on time, I just get the desire to vlog me getting ready and talk to you guys. And you know, when I talk, I use my hands a lot, and so I feel like it makes me take 10 times longer than the average person to get ready. Today's practice because I'm actually very short on time. But anyway guys, hello, how are y'all? The theme for one of the birthdays is like earth tone. This is like the only earth tone thing I had. I feel like the rest of my closet is literally just black or like bright yellow. There's like no in between. Something I wanted to talk to you guys about is social events, and it's perfect because I'm actually getting ready for one right now. I think as I'm getting older, I've definitely become way more introverted, which I'm not mad about it. My whole life, my favorite type of people were the introverts. Like, I feel like introverted people are always, they're like little mystery boxes, you know? You don't really know anything about them when you first meet them because they're all like very mysterious. I love when you start to get comfortable with an introvert because they have like the best personalities. They're usually like super funny too. At least that's in my experience. My mom, for example, is very much an introvert, and I always tell her if we were the same age, I know we would be best friends because I love introverted people. Like, I just gravitate towards them. I think as I'm getting older, I'm really appreciating my time alone, and I've learned how to enjoy my time alone. There was a time I could not be alone even for like 30 minutes. I was not an independent girly. I always needed to be around friends, around my partner, or around somebody because I felt very lonely, and I struggled with a lot of loneliness growing up. But now I don't even like going out that much. I definitely went through my huge like wanting to party phase back in high school. By the time I was in college, I was like already over it. And honestly guys, partying is really not that fun. Some people think I'm like a huge partier. I am not. Don't get it twisted. I feel like a lot of extroverted people tend to like social gatherings and partying and stuff. I like meeting new people, but I don't like partying. I think part of the reason is because there's usually a huge drinking culture that comes with it, and I am not a drinker. First of all, alcohol tastes like booty, and no one can tell me otherwise. And also, I hate the way it makes me feel the next day. I feel like it just like brings me out of my routine. The next day, I'm always tired, and I feel like I got a headache. And I feel like I matured a lot. Now I don't get like FOMO. I used to get a lot of FOMO, so I would force myself to go out, but now I'm very much okay chilling with my cat at home, journaling, reading, watching YouTube, sleeping early, waking up early. Those are the things that make me happy now, and I am not mad about it. Speaking of social events, I also want to talk to you guys about influencer events, because actually right now is like New York Fashion Week. I see a lot of the influencers that I follow are going to all these events, and I'm watching their stories like, yes, you go. I want to give you guys like the inside scoop. Not that I'm like a huge influencer or anything. I really don't get invited to events very often, and I don't go to them very often, because I'm sure you guys watch a lot of these influencers and you're like, wow, she got invited to this brand, she got flown out, like, oh my gosh, I wish. Honestly, as an influencer myself, I find that I used to do that too a little bit, but now I could care less. I feel like it's easy to be very envious of these influencers sometimes. Maybe it's just me, but I definitely felt that way before I even did YouTube. I would see influencers doing all these cool things and I'd be happy for them, but also like a tad bit envious. And I'm just here to tell you guys right now that influencer events are really not all that, okay? Let me tell you. You can argue with me on this, but like, if I'm being honest with you guys, the influencer events I went to were honestly not that fun, okay? The free food and the free drinks, that's what makes it fun. And the music. Sometimes they have really good music, but I would say like the social crowd itself is really not that much of a vibe. Every single influencer event I went to, there's usually like people, influencers themselves, they like kind of go in their own little groups, and like people don't intermingle as much as you would think. Like there's some people that are very friendly, don't get me wrong, but I would say majority of people, they kind of just stay in their own lane. They kind of like are in their little groups. I would say college is way more social than like influencer events. I'm not calling all the influencers out, but some of them can kind of give off this vibe that they're like the best thing that God has ever put on this earth. Okay, no tea, no shade, not all of them, okay? I met some very nice influencers, but there are some that just carry themselves, like you could just tell they're just like not humble. And even at these influencer events, it's like a numbers game, like who has the most followers and who has the most, you know, clout, I guess. And it's just not fun. For me, it just feels like high school all over again. I think they're very overrated, and I know they look fun on Instagram stories. Maybe I've posted one and maybe you're like, whoa, that seems really cool, but they're really not all that. The best thing that comes out of influencer events for me is a full stomach and free stuff. Before you like watch these influencer stories at New York Fashion Week and all this fun stuff, just remember that the Instagram story might look super fun, but the event itself, it's not that fun. So try not to be envious, just live your own life, be very grateful for your own life. Also, another thing that I needed to hear, so I'm sure some of you guys need to hear it, unfollow the influencers that don't make you feel good about yourself, okay? I hope that's not me, and if it's me, I guess you should unfollow me too, like I don't know. You know how there's some influencers where every single time they post, you just don't feel good about yourself? Like you just don't feel uplifted? Unfollow those influencers ASAP. I always felt bad for unfollowing because I didn't want to be like fake, but you know, I gotta put myself first sometimes. I hit the unfollow button, and now my mental health is so much better, and I find myself scrolling way less on social media. It's so easy to look at influencers and be kind of like envious of their life. It's easy to think that your life is not as good, which is so not true. I'm like kind of in that space, but not really, because I feel like I'm not there like those other influencers, but I've definitely felt envious of them too. So you just gotta remember that your life is great too, that just because you're not an influencer going to all these cool events and meeting famous people doesn't mean that your life is not dope and amazing, that you shouldn't be happy with the life that you have now, you know what I mean? I try to remind myself every day to be grateful for the big and the little things, and my life has become so much better because of it. I feel like I just ranted, but just know that I'm very grateful for you and that your life is very important, so don't forget that. I'm gonna speed through the rest of my makeup. I love you guys, and I'll catch you at the event.
뒤집으면서 들어가 할 때 찾아